Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are back planning or memory planning the week that was October 30th through to November 5th, and I am using this absolutely beautiful kit. I believe it's from Highland Belle Prints. I will of course link it down below just in case I got it incorrect. And I'm also using various bits and pieces from other stores, predominantly Planiface, and then some really old glitter headers from Stella Bow Sticker Co., who is no longer open. Because this was the week that I actually finished watching Supernatural. So for anyone who does not know, Supernatural is a TV show that ran for 15 consecutive series. I can't remember. I always get the date confused. I don't know if it was 2001 or 2005. I think it was 2001 that the pilot season premiered. And naturally, for anyone who may even know a little about this show, the two main characters are these really, really attractive brothers. They're not brothers in real life, but they're really, really attractive. So you're a female, you kind of like horror movies, thriller, those sorts of things, scary things, and you see a show about two brothers who like hunt supernatural things. So naturally, you're curious, you're going to have a look. So I remember watching the very first episode years and years and years ago on my TV at home. It was a tiny little TV. It was one of those TVs that like I had to like dial the channel or change the channel with like a little analog dial. It was insane. Also, I don't know what's happening with my footage. I don't know if when I was filming it, I maybe filmed it in slow-mo or something, but I've tried resetting the speed and everything whilst I'm editing, and that hasn't fixed anything. So I have a feeling it's just got to do with the way that I filmed the footage, which I love that. Quite possibly one of my favorite spreads because it's supernatural and it, anyway, it is what it is. So I watched that, and then I continued to religiously watch the show for years. And I don't even remember. I think it premiered on Channel 10, and it was kind of late at night. I don't know if it was like an 8:30 or a 9:30 or like a 10:30 start. But whatever it was, I started watching, and then I started watching every week. And I watched season after season after season. But then as we got further into the series, they like changed channels. I don't know if anyone remembers, but Channel 10 then introduced like 10 Play. And at this point, I don't even know what season I was up to. It was either season 12 or season 13. And they changed it to 10 Play. And because I never watched 10 Play other than for Supernatural, I never really saw the ads that would tell you that it was coming back on TV. So I'd watched all these years of Supernatural, and then they changed the channel. And then when it came back on air, I obviously didn't see or I didn't know because it was on 10 Play. And again, I didn't watch 10 Play. So I missed, I think, quite a few episodes from whatever season it was I was up to, again, season 12, season 13. And I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll wait. I'll buy it on DVD. And then that way when the new season comes out, I'll be up to date. And then, I don't know, life got in the way, things happened. I didn't buy the DVD. And then before I knew it, season 14 was out, season 15 was out, and I obviously just didn't have the DVDs, wasn't on TV. I was so far behind. And then it just got to a point that it was like, I feel like I can't comfortably watch this show anymore without rewatching the entire show. So then years and years and years passed, and I just never got back to watching it. Now, in between all of this, because I am such a huge fan of Supernatural, I have been to several conventions. I have met Jensen Ackles, who is one of the brothers. I have met many of the other cast members. I was supposed to meet Jared Padalecki, who is the other brother in the show, but he unfortunately had to cancel his visit to Australia when he came because he was unwell. He has been before that, and he has been after that, but I have not been able to go, or I wasn't able to go in the beginning because I didn't know that the cons existed. And then the most recent time he's come was like a month ago, or maybe even a couple of weeks ago. But the company that run the conventions relocated the convention to Melbourne. So naturally, I didn't go because it's too expensive. By the time you pay for flights, by the time you pay for accommodation, it's too much money. Also, I apologize for my dog once again. and sitting down to do a voiceover, which I have put off for days and days and days because, quite honestly, voiceovers are killing my life and I cannot stand doing them right now. But of course, it's on a night that my neighbours out the back have decided to invite guests over. And when guests are over, that means there's noise, there's children, there's yelling, there's laughing. And naturally, my dog does not like that. So he's going to spend forever barking. So, as usual, I will do my best to block it out. I do apologise if it annoys you, it annoys me too. But if I don't ignore it, I will probably spend this entire voiceover yelling at my dog. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so I have been to several conventions. I've met a lot of the cast. For anyone who might be interested, who is Australia based, the company that runs it is called Hub Productions, and they generally hold 2 conventions a year. They usually have one in around about May, and then they usually have a second one around Christmas time where they do like Christmas themed events and Christmas sweaters and things like that. And when they do it, obviously, again, I didn't know. So the first convention I went to was the 3rd convention ever held in Australia. And I think Jensen and Jared, they either went to the first one or maybe even the first and second one. But for one of those, I was overseas. And for the one before that, I obviously didn't know that they existed. So we went to the 3rd one. And then I think we went right up until maybe number 10. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we missed some in between. But I always go with my sister-in-law because she's also a Supernatural fan. I don't know, but I've been a couple of times. It's a long day. It's like a 6 a.m. start. Don't get home until like 8 p.m. at night. It's in the city. So for me, it's like this huge, big travel. But so worth it because obviously, like I said, I've met a lot of the cast. Meeting Jensen Ackles for the first time was just like, I can't even explain it. And we had this like really awkward encounter. So when you go to the conventions, you can buy tokens to get photos and autographs. And they're obviously expensive. I spend way too much money at these conventions. But obviously when you have a photo with them, you get to like pose with them, you get to hug them, whatever. So I had some single photos with him and then I had some doubles with my sister-in-law and we like got him to pose and things like that. And it's always a fun time. But I remember when I went to get his autograph, this company that like does these events, they're very unorganized in my opinion. And because it's Jensen, obviously everyone wants to have something to do with Jensen Ackles. So I'd paid for my autograph. And the way that they ran like the photos and the autographs and things like that, it so happened that when Jensen was doing his autographs, I was also going to get a photo with somebody else. So by the time I got to have my photo with that person and then realized that they were doing Jensen autographs, I had to like run down. And as I got to the table for him to sign, he was already leaving the table. Like he'd picked up his stuff. He was carrying a box in his hand. He had keys in his mouth. And I obviously didn't want to say anything, but I'm also like I paid like $100 for this. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Jensen. Can I get you to sign this? And of course he obliged. He's so lovely. He like put his stuff down, he signed, and then he left. So I was very, very lucky. But yeah, that was, great encounter for my first like meet with Jensen Ackles. I do hope one day that whether it's here, whether it's overseas, that I do get to go to another convention where I get to meet him again and meet Jared for the first time. But for now, I just hold on to the fact that I got to meet Jensen and that I've met so many other people from the show. I even, there's a couple that I follow on Twitter that have spoken to me on Twitter and stuff before. So that's always a fun time. But I guess this was so important because firstly, you guys have seen me mark watching Supernatural or binge watching Supernatural since I think it was like January or February 2023. And it isn't until November that we finished the show. So I knew that I wanted this spread to be special. I had originally purchased a kit from Oscar and Lou like years and years and years ago. And I just didn't love it anymore. And then I went on to Google and I was Googling and I found this kit on Etsy. I did end up getting the wrong size kit. I ended up getting a horizontal kit, which is unfortunate, but I made it work. I did have to frankenplan a little bit because the kit was quite small. It didn't come with a lot of boxes. So I did have to pull in bits and pieces, like I said, from Planner Face, Stella Bow Sticker Co., things like that. And then I think I still have to, at the end of this spread, I don't put date headers, or date covers or date dots on because I didn't have any that matched the kit. None came with the kit. So I still have to find something for that, but it is what it is. And then I also purchased some things from Alicia Craft. I got some supernatural themed underlays, and I got some quotes that I layer over the boxes. And yeah, it was just a fun time. It was very, I don't know, nostalgic in a way. But also this was a very tough week because, like I said, for so many years I'd left the show unwatched, and then I begged and begged and begged my husband to watch the show with me because I wanted to do a rewatch, but obviously it was going to take a lot of time because most episodes are like 45 minutes to an hour and there's 15 seasons. So I managed to convince him to watch with me. And then this was the week that I finished it. So not only did we do the full rewatch, I watched the 2.5 seasons that I'd missed, things that I'd not seen before, without spoilers. Like I for all these years, I didn't know how Supernatural ended, which is amazing to me because you would think that, having been finished for so many years, the spoiler would be out and about and I would have seen it. But it was spoiler free. I didn't know how it ended. And I'm obviously not going to spoil it for anyone here, but like, my goodness, let me tell you, the night that we watched the finale was chaotic. But I remember I wanted to delay the last episode, and I was like, no, because if I delay it, I won't ever want to watch it. And then like I really, really wanted to watch it. But then obviously once I'd finished watching it, it was like, I can now never watch this show ever again for the first time. I can never watch this finale again for the first time. And I was full of feelings. For anyone who has watched this show and knows the ending, if you know, you know. And generally speaking, with the franchise, you're either a Dean girl or a Sam girl. So I'm a Dean girl. My husband's a Dean girl. So there's that. And I needed to just sit with it. So after we finished watching it, I needed to sit with it for a little while. I sat with it for a couple of days, and I still can't get over it. I can't get over the ending. I can't get over the fact that like it's over. Like the show that I watched and loved for so many years is done. But I know that I'll rewatch it at some point. Like it's one of my comfort shows, one of my all-time favorite shows. I just love it. So yeah, it was. I wanted this week to be special in that I wanted it to be like a perfect kit, and I don't know. It's really annoying me that this footage looks really weird. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know how to fix it. Like I said, I tried and it just didn't work. And obviously I apologize because I haven't actually gone through the plans of the week, and I feel like I don't really have time to go through the plans of the week. But let me just have a quick little skim here. Monday, not much happened. It was windy as heck. I worked. I played some Sims. It was 34 degrees. We watched Supernatural. Tuesday was Halloween. I marked that I was working, that I was tired, and that I had no power. I did some YouTube binging. I watched Supernatural. Wednesday was my mother-in-law's birthday. I worked. I did some chores, and then I finished watching Supernatural. So that's the day that we watched the season finale or the final of the series, whatever you want to call it. And then I just finished that I was in all my feels. Thursday was a work day. Then I had my waxing and nail appointment. I took my brother to the shops with me. That's where we're at now, actually. I kind of caught up, I guess. But yeah, I took my brother because he was meant to go camping. I think the camping got cancelled, but I took him to get some camping gear for his camping trip. I had a headache. I came home and I chilled out with my dogs and my husband. Friday, I had the day off. I had some coffee. I watched a movie called Something Borrowed. Don't remember what that was now, but I remember I liked it. Played some more Sims. Had some manouche for dinner, which is like a wrap place. I think they're like Lebanese or like Arabic. Oh my god, excuse me, that came from nowhere. I don't know. I don't know what nationality they are, but I know that the pizza that they make at the store is Lebanese. And they use Lebanese bread for their wraps, and it's so fresh and so delicious, and it's so yummy, and they do this like delicious garlic sauce, and I cannot get enough of it. And then the weekend was pretty chill. I filmed, I recorded some Sims videos. We went and had it in Nando's for dinner. We went to San Churro, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's like a coffee shop, but they serve like churros and chocolates and desserts, and I think they now do like canapes and stuff like that. And then we went to Kmart, and then we came home and just had a really lazy evening. And then on Sunday, I just had a lazy morning, did some laundry, hung out with the boys, watched some YouTube, had some coffee, and washed my hair. So wasn't a very eventful week. Like, the event of the week was supernatural, and you can very clearly tell that by the plans and the spread and the kit and all of that. I know that the shades of blue don't match. I found it really hard to try and match blues to the kit because there wasn't a lot of blue in the kit itself, but I wanted to bring in some of that blue so that it wasn't all black. Maybe that was a bad decision. Maybe I should have stayed with the black and the gray. Maybe things would have blended a little bit better. But I don't know. I feel like I needed to bring out the blue. And then I feel like on the first half of the week, like Monday to Tuesday, there's not a lot of blue. And then I've been really consistent with the blue. So I don't know. I feel like depending on how you look at it, like at the moment, because I don't have date covers, it definitely feels like a Franken spread. But then also looking at it like holistically, it doesn't look like a Franken spread. But now, let me know your thoughts about the spread in the comments below. It will obviously look a lot better when I put some date covers on, which I'm hoping to do very soon so that I can actually finish my flip through. I think I've also decided that when I film my flip through for you guys, I'm just going to film it as it is. There's a couple of spreads where I've got things missing, or I haven't filled something in, or I've not put a sticker down, or, you know, random things like that. And to be honest, I don't know where a lot of my planning notes are anymore, and I'm really trying to declutter and clean my house. And so if I try to wait around forever to try and find those planning notes, I'm never going to get around to the flip through. So I think I'm just going to sit down and film quarters 2, 3, and 4 because I've already filmed quarter 1. No, I don't think I filmed any quarters of this one. I think I filmed quarter 1 of my 2022 planner and never went back to it. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll go back and film quarter 2, 3, and 4 of 2022, and then I'll sit down and film quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4 of my 2023 planner, and then hopefully we can get stuck into 2024 content. But anyways, guys, that is it. That is the video. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all very soon for another Plan With Me video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.